Today. This is a webinar titled Ethnic Diversity and Media Freedom in the South Caucasus, the voice of Radio Marneuli. My name is Dr. Megan Luttrell, and I'm the outreach coordinator for the University of Kansas Center for Russian, East European, and Eurasian Studies. This webinar is led from journalists from Radio Marneuli, a community media outlet serving one of Georgia's most ethnically diverse regions. We have two speakers today, Kamila Mamyedova and Vladimir Chihitunidze. They'll speak for about 45 minutes, and then we'll open things up to questions from viewers. You'll be able to type your questions into the Q&A option down at the bottom. There's an option to ask anonymously if you feel more comfortable that way. I'll read out your questions, and the panelists will answer them. I'm delighted to introduce Matt Schultz. He is a Peace Corps volunteer in Georgia who earned his bachelor's in French, Spanish, and poli-sci from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And he first came to the South Caucasus in 2018, studying in Baku, Azerbaijan through the Critical Language Scholarship. And then he returned in 2024 through a Citizen Diplomacy Action Fund. Now, through Peace Corps' Georgia Individual and Organizational Development Project, Matt works to empower nonprofit organizations in their efforts to strengthen civil society, equip youth with skills they need to achieve their educational and career goals, and unlock the full potentials of their communities. I'll turn things over to Matt, who will introduce our speakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Luttrell, for that introduction, and thank you to the University of Kansas and the Center for Russian, East European, and Eurasian Studies for hosting this event. Yes, my name is Matt Schultz. I'm a Peace Corps volunteer in Georgia. And quickly, I'll share my screen. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, and I will be briefly introducing this webinar and then giving the floor to the Radio Marneuli journalists. So our speakers today are journalists from Radio Marneuli, which is a multilingual community radio station and independent media outlet located in the city of Marneuli, which is about 40 minutes south from Georgia's capital, Tbilisi. And with 20 years of experience, Radio Marneuli is the longest continuously operating independent media outlet in an ethnic minority region of Georgia. Previously, Radio Marneuli had international partners like USAID, the National Endowment for Democracy, Deutsche Welle, and the BBC World Service Trust. In today's presentation, you'll learn why Radio Marneuli can no longer accept financial support from these or any other international donors, and we'll discuss a question we must all ask ourselves as citizens of democracies: what is at stake when free media is threatened? Now I'll go ahead and introduce today's speakers. First, Kamila Mamedova. Kamila is the founder and director of Radio Marneuli. In 2006, beginning in 2006, she built Radio Marneuli from an idea and a dream into one of the most respected independent media outlets in Georgia today. She holds a master's in media management from the Georgian Institute of Public Affairs. And she is an alumna of the U.S. Department of State's International Visitor Leadership Program. Her work has won numerous awards, including the Human Rights Tulip from the Embassy of the Netherlands.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. And I hope our story and expertise will be interesting for you.
Thank you, Kamila. Next, I'm honored to introduce Vladimir Chihitunidze. Vlad has 10 years of experience as a Radio Marneuli journalist, and his work focuses on ethnic minority rights, corruption and local government accountability, and the rule of law.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, University of Kansas. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Vlad. Now, before we get started, I'll remind you to type your questions in the Q&A section. We're looking forward to an engaging discussion following the presentation. And with that, I'll give the floor to Vlad to begin.
Thank you, Matt, once again. Since October of 2024, the Georgian Dream Party and government has taken a decidedly anti-democratic turn, aggressively strengthening its grip on the power and stomping out dissent and moving closer and closer to Russia and authoritarianism and farther from where Georgia belongs in European family of free democratic countries. So in order to understand this shift, we must first understand the political and historical context in which it is occurring. So after 70 years of Russian occupation under the Soviet Union, Georgia restored its independence in 1991. But this bright, triumphant moment was immediately followed by the dark days, the 90s. The 90s were actually dark because there were no electricity in the country, there were no gas to keep warm the home during the winters, there was food shortage, widespread crime and corruption, and things were bad in general. On top of that, war broke out in two regions of Georgia, South Ossetia and Abkhazia, where separatists from ethnic minority groups were supported by Russia. The country was moving in the wrong direction, and the Georgian people wanted change. In 2003, the elections were so obviously fake that the Georgian people rose up in what is known as a Rose Revolution. No matter that it's called revolution, and it not called, but it actually was revolution, it was peaceful transfer of power, and it was first time in modern Georgian history that this kind of thing, like peaceful transfer of power, happened. This and the protest movement organizers who led this Rose Revolution took the reins of Georgian government. This was the United National Movement Party, led by Mikhail Saakashvili. His government launched rapid reforms, eliminated many forms of everyday corruption and centralized power. So, Saakashvili openly declared Georgia's goal of joining Europe and sought strong support from the United States. Georgia's pro-Western path, of course, angered Russia. And in 2008, Russia invaded Georgia, and to this day, it still occupies 20% of Georgia's territory, the regions of South Ossetia and Abkhazia. This was the huge crisis, displacing approximately 200,000 people and spreading fear across the country. The war caused deep trauma and confirmed Russia's willingness to use force to stop Georgia's European path. So, in his second term, Saakashvili's popularity declined. His rule was controversial, contradictory. Let's say, on the one hand, there was positive change, of course, like positive likely reforms, institution building, EU cooperation, and Western foundings. But on another, there were human rights violations. There were pressure on media and attacks on opposition. So by the 2012, this dissatisfaction grow and a new figure emerged. It was Bidzina Ivanishvili and his Georgian Dream Party. So, Ivanishvili, a little bit about Ivanishvili. He is a billionaire who made his fortune during 90s in the Russia. So imagine the situation like in Georgia, we don't have basic needs like gas, like electricity, and it's war outside. And during this time, Bidzina Ivanishvili was comfortably in Russia making money, big money, yes. And he presented himself as a protector of ordinary people, and Georgian Dream came to power through elections in 2012. It was kind of like, it was actually second time this peaceful transfer of power happened in Georgia. Before entering politics, Ivanishvili cooperated with Saakashvili's government and funded many cultural and reform projects. Georgian Dream did not, and still till this day does not openly say it's pro-Russian party. And actually, at the beginning, they did not seem to be. Under Georgian Dream in 2016, Radio Marneuli even got its broadcasting license, which we could not get under Saakashvili. So they seem to be this open-minded and really open people who ruled the country, but the things changed and they changed quickly. Over the years, Georgian Dream consolidated power and its pro-Russian stance became more and more apparent. Corruption returned, political clans strengthened, Russian business interested expanded inside Georgia, and after Russia invaded Ukraine, the situation became more and more visible. So, sanctions threatened Ivanishvili's wealth, and the government adopted laws to protect economic interests of Ivanishvili and people linked to him. Georgia turned into kind of safe space for Russian capital and sanctions evasion, and independent media and civil society, of course, became obstacles because who wants to have free media who can point out different kind of bad things that they are doing. So this led to adoption of laws similar to Russia's foreign agents legislation, restriction on grants, and increased government control over funding decisions. And about these topics, Camilla and I will talk later also. So in 2024, the parliamentary elections marked the turning point for Georgia. Widespread fraud was reported, and I personally witnessed and documented these violations in the polling stations. How badly they falsificated the elections, and we have this on record, everything. So yeah, having further they further consolidated their power, and Georgian Dream government announced the following month that it will halt Georgia's EU integration process. Of course, this caused protests in Georgians. So protesters poured into the streets of Tbilisi and have been there, camped in front of the parliament for 447th day, if I'm not mistaken, or 446 or yeah, more than 440. Yeah.
56.
56, right?
456,
Ah,
yes.
sorry.
Yesterday was 456. Today it's 7.
Yeah, thank you, Camilla. I was incorrect by 10 days, but it's hard to keep track of the days when the protest has been so long in the process. And that actually brings us to today. Many people have been unjustifiably imprisoned, among them our fellow journalist, Zia Merlobeli, who got Sakharov Prize as well, and who is still imprisoned. And as you can see, Georgian politics is always heated and it's always hard situation here. But we, as independent media, are sounding alarm now because the Georgian Dream government is accelerating its attack on media freedom. And we are still here and we are raising our voices. So now I would give floor to Camila to share Radio Marneuli's story and everything with it.
Thank you, Vlad. Thank you for your interest to be with us. Because now it's a situation which we will try to live and adopt. It's very important to have friends, maybe from desktop, and can see you, but we feel your interest, and it's very important for us. So thank you, and it's our very I think it's a long story. We change our life, but I try to tell you our story very shortly, but maybe it will be interesting for you. We need to imagine like Marneuli. It's a very small, not very small in Georgia, but small community like municipality where majority live national minorities, mostly Azerbaijani, ethnically Azerbaijani, but Georgian citizens. It's 90% of population in the Kvemokartli region. After it's Armenian community and Georgian. Georgian and Armenian. So we live in this diversity situation. We speak our communication language is Russian. And we know we live in Georgia, but we understand like it's not very safety and comfortable live here and be visible. And this community, like a tribe, be very quiet always, and we have a lot of influences from our neighbors countries, like you see in this map. We live in a border, very close to a border in Armenia, Azerbaijan, and people who live here. They always watching what happened in Georgia through Azerbaijan, Armenian, on Russian perspective. But it's like start in 19. And what about our radio? Live here, it's not like very diverse or interesting because nothing can happen here. We don't have theater or cinema. We just have like a basic school only. And if we want to have fun, we like go to the our home homes.
Yeah, friends.
And yes, and friends, school.
Yes, one.
If they yes. So and after like this change about what Vladimir speak, and after a revolution rose Rose Revolution. Yes, the Rose Revolution, like we start to feeling its changes because like non-profit sector start to build and it came to our region and they start to make a small project like Georgian language courses, computer courses, because in Georgia, minorities common languages was Russian always with Georgians too and with each other, and mostly minorities group are not speaking Georgian language well, or not speaking. So, and after Rose Revolution, they start this project and abroad in London, in a BBC office, somebody think like if Georgia decide to be part of European Union, European values. So maybe they will be interested to building community media in that region, like where live minorities. No, in Kvemokartli, where live Azerbaijani community, and in Samtskhe Javakheti, where live mostly Armenian communities. So BBC Trust was the organization who took grants of European Union and then came here to decide to make this project. I was 18 years old in that period, and like you are very active, curious, but you don't know where spend your energy. And they announce this training and this project, like in Marneuli, they are planning to make a radio station and announce it at training. So I start to participate this training and stay there after 20 years. So and we registered our organization, like a union of journalists, and start building this idea. So I think that it's absolutely like a revolution idea for this region, because before nobody thinking and have idea to make here like independent media. So we are first who start speaking openly in minorities language about their rights, about issues, about solution with our community. And we have like funny stories for how we start building this radio and like populate ourselves in community. For example, we can get license under Saakashvili. How Vladimir said, in one hand, he was like, he was revolutionarily building institution and reform, and on the other hand, like he tried to control everything and free media too. And they decide by hand of controllers as communication commission, like in this region, they don't need open microphone principle work and media, because they can control minorities group, and this group always in election gives them 100% of their voices.
So one time, 101% of the elections, yeah, percentage from the local election poll. So
Yeah.
101%.
Yeah.
Not even 100.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
So it's not joke. And in that period, like we, for example, we don't have license, we don't have any opportunity like make online media like we are have now, because in that period in 2006 we have in municipality we had one computer. in a local government office. And in this project, BBC bought for us two computers for 10 people, one computer. And we tried to make articles and reporters by using this computer. So and without license, of course, you are not you don't have more opportunity to talk with all community members. But we decide maybe we can give them information by recording our program in cassette types and share it and give it to taxi drivers who work with in Marneuli to Tbilisi and other location, and hope they will plays our program. And we also set up big speakers on the tree near Chaykhana. Chaykhana, it's we call the tea houses. This place are using only for men. And we was first who start make reportage from local government office about budget, about infrastructure project. So this first information we give them, and we hope they will talk about it, and they did it. But it's funny because it's in a tree and sometimes was rainy, bad weather, and nobody listen us, but we speak. So it's very funny sometimes, but tragedy was for us because we was very motivated to do it, because we understand how we can change a life of people by information. And if we go to be part of European Union in these values, where you can be part of society of Georgians, you must be informed in your own language, of course, and you can be including in this process. And maybe, yes, today you are not speaking Georgian well, but tomorrow a new generation of minorities can be more brave to include of this process. So we spent 10 years in fighting for this, and this changes after 2012 when Georgian dreams comes true. And they decide their message was all the media will be free. And in that period we have a broadcasting license, and from 2016 and this last 10 years our community listen us in 96.9 FM, and of course we adapt ourselves in online and social media. So of course it's very nice to listen this story, but we have a lot of challenges, and one of was in that period I can remind some cases. For example, election, it's some very interesting to observe period in our life, and in 2018 election, president election, when Georgian Dream decide we need to have Salome Zurabishvili Vladimir, he observed this election and recording some falsification situation in one area in Marneuli. So after this, it's starting to be a big pressure of us. They like want we delete this video. We don't do it. And after 1 week, Vladimir's father lost his job in local government where he worked last 15 years, I guess. Yeah.
15 or more.
And the same situation was with me when I like reporting on political appointment based on party loyalty. And he was member of Georgian Dream, and he used my pictures from Facebook and published it with hate speech about me. They think like it would silence me and us, but it doesn't work.
Quite opposite.
Yes, absolutely quite opposite. Yeah. And during COVID, it was very interesting, dangerous and very interesting period for us because we was under locked for 56 years, 56 days, because first COVID patient was from Marneuli. And we was only one media. Yes, they put here and a journal from public broadcaster, but public broadcaster are controlled by government. And from these stories, everything was good here. But we reported a corruption risk, a lack of information, like healthy care problems. And of course, we show for our audience and people it's ordinary story about local how they adapt in this situation.
Sorry, Kamila, I wanted to add about the COVID-19 period. We have fun story about protests in Marneuli. So we are agricultural community here, and people could not sell their goods outside of Marneuli. So they had huge protests, and of course we were there, and we were making videos.
Lots of cucumbers.
Yeah, a lot of cucumbers. Yeah, and we were making videos of it and of course spreading it. And one of our videos end up in Fox News actually, and they made of course a mistake because they thought that Georgia was the state Georgia, and they I guess didn't realize that this protest was in the country of Georgia. So we were in Fox News as well.
Yes,
somehow.
So it's like show us and we understand about our role in our community, because we are not only reporters, we live here and we part of everything what happened in our community, and we try, how I say before, try to find solution with people who lives here. So it's like a short part of our challenges, but what happened today in Georgia, it's absolutely different. In these recent years, several laws have been adopted that restrict, they try to restrict independent media, including us. And we have a list of laws. First, it's a law of broadcasting, which prohibits broadcasting from receiving foreign money, all foreign money. It's depend. Like we are dependent of this law, we can only advertising. Money can be foreign, not funds. So second, it's Georgian Dream call it a transparency law. We call it a Russian law because it was a copy of Russian agents law, which like if organization received more than 20% of foreign funding, they must be registered of special register list. And last, no, it's not last, later, when we say like it's a Russian law, they say, okay, we will adopt a Georgian version of FARA, and why you are not call it American law? And it's like you must be registered at like a foreign agent. And finally, law of grants was adopted in the last years in April. Under this law, the government decide which foreign fund projects are acceptable. And now in this 2 weeks, they put on this law new like
Additions.
new editions, which it's depend on not only organization at person. For example, if you are my friends and decide to send me money for help, it's like can be they can decide like I am your agent and receive money for deep state and for its foreign money, and they can jealous me
Put in,
yes, for 6 years.
Any money from abroad, any foreign money for use of any kind, it's actually illegal now. And of course, they will use this law against critical voices and critical minds in Georgia.
So together, this law created systematic problems for us because they make independent media financing almost impossible. But no, we try to find solution, and one of them in this picture, it's we are in demonstrate of our campaign. It's a light for media across Georgia, 22 independent media united for domestic funding campaign, and like people can send us money for one bank account of light for media, and we can use this money. This money can be only from Georgian citizen, and it can be only lari and a Georgian girl. So it's help us in that period. We can pay for electricity, for domain, for some needed technical, but it's not enough for our sustainability. In the point, radio has no, it's not enough, but we can pay minimum salaries a few months because when we have funds and support of international organization, how Matt said, Deutsche Welle, NED, and other donor organization help us, support us. It was about stability, and we can be independent from business and work of topics which are not interesting for everyday some people. It's about women rights. It's about a problem with which kindergarten in minorities living villages, etc., etc. So yeah, please.
Yeah, so that's the sad story that the Georgian Dream by silencing us is making the by silencing us they are actually silencing the people which gave us their voice, let's say, because sometimes and most of the times people can't express their thoughts and their needs openly, and they choose to contact with us to speak through us. But yeah, right now this chain is under danger. And Georgian Dream also, I wanted to add about legislations. They are not attacking only media or NGOs. They are attacking universities, the places where the critical minds are forged, like Ilia State University, my mother university, now is under huge attack, and more than 80% of the programs have been cancelled from the government. Also, government is speaking about, Georgian Dream government is speaking about merging two universities, Tbilisi State University and Tbilisi Technical University. These two universities are older in Caucasus, like oldest university or universities in Caucasus, more than century of the history, and they just wanted to merge it. So they are killing every place where critical minds can be produced. And also, the funny, it's already funny for me, but it's of course it's not funny. Georgian Dream has new law. They are adding new clause in the law that if people will not recognize them as legal power or government, these people can be put in jail up to 3 years. So yeah, that's the little things about situation now in Georgia. And thank you very much for listening us, and we are open for your questions. Hope it was not it was helpful for you as well.
Yes, thank you so much for your presentation. We already do have one question in the chat, or two questions, so I'll read the questions aloud and let you respond. And all right, the first one is from Deborah Barnes. Do these new laws prevent embassies funding programs through their bilateral programs in Georgia?
Yes, by this new law, any kind of foreign money is considered as illegal. And of course, like embassy is foreign entity and foreign land, let's say. So
But
they
if
can't.
you no in the grants of law, if you ask from primary ministry like
Yeah.
office, may I give a grant, for example, for Camila, and it's not political. Maybe she will like help to children with disability or something very natural like project. And if Prime Minister office will approve it, it's okay. But if some embassy decide to supporting, for example, Radio Marneuli, like a critical media, it will not be approved, and they will like is that okay? Include all mechanism to jail us and control. So it depends who you are. Your position with Georgian Dream, if you are more positive for them, neutral, and your activity is not very political, you can have funds, but how we know embassies they are not have decision how they will work. And they just in that last 6 or 7 months they are canceled or of all grants program.
So about the European and US embassies, they have politics that they actually don't speak with Georgian Dream. So they will, I don't think that they have this kind of like structure how they will work in the future. Yeah, but for other embassies,
They don't
yeah,
have a clear decision
yeah.
like, for this period. Yeah.
But for us, it's impossible to get funds, and it's actually, yeah, we have been sanctioned by Communication Commission because of the grants that we had. So, yeah.
Another question from Barbara. I'm Georgian myself, studying Eastern Europe at the University of Kansas. I would just like to clarify how the situation has been looking very recently. I left Georgia in August last year, and it has been very difficult to keep track of all the information that has been happening. Several media channels have been shut off. Universities were forced to completely get rid of 90% of their programs. You briefly mentioned these, but I would greatly appreciate it if you could elaborate more.
მედიების დახურვა და უნივერსიტეტების გაქრობაზე.
What about media organization? A lot of regional media start to cancel their work because it's not enough. How to understand to be? It's not enough money in this country. Like be supported by like local business. We are a very small community. We had a very small communities in region. And money for business like advertise,
Yeah,
it's not enough. It's not enough to make good journalists, have like a staff for journalists of 3 or 4 people, for example. Yes, and it's expensive to have a media organization. Like if you are broadcaster, if you have you are TV, not only online. So and many media organization in that period, because Georgia Dream decided to have these laws, they are like stopped to work. They go abroad. Our many colleagues now live in US because like they need to be far from these problems and like try to
keep themselves
keep
safe as
themselves
well.
safe. Yes. In that period, of course, we try have like find some mechanism to leave. For example, we it was idea of Matt, like we register in Airbnb and make a tour, so from around Marneuli for people. And Vladimir, after writing articles here, the
Tour guide.
guide. So like we tried to do everything to stay here because if we just move to another country, it's not possible to work here. But
yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing. And thank you, Barbara, for your question. So the thing is that not only regional media, but actually this mainstream media also has been closed. one of the most
Popular
vocal and
opposition.
popular opposition media, Mtavari Archi, was closed, and yeah, still till this day we don't they had the internal problems as we know, but of course the main the thing is that the Georgian dream created problems for them, and that's why the Tawari now is gone. The second most popular and critically minded media organization, which is Formula, is on the edge of collapse, and we don't know actually when they will shut down. And there is little bit better situation with Irveli, but still,
because
yeah.
Georgian Dream control our big businesses, and they are scared to have advertising in this opposition and critical medias on TV channels, and they have had a lot of financial problems.
Yeah.
And all business go to like a Georgian Dream supporter TVs,
Propaganda
propagandas medias. Finance this opposition TVs you can't with this law because it's like now it's illegal, and other some opponents of Georgian Dream who finance this TV are jailed or are in abroad.
Yeah, and to touch about on the topic of universities, the situation is actually really bad because yes, they are now shutting down the Ilia State University, but they also in the same time are changing the whole high education system. So now they have this kind of mindset and vision: one city, one faculty, and it's really strange how their mindset works. Georgia is really small country, and not many cities are developed, and there are not many universities in the different cities. So main center is of course the capital, Tbilisi, where most of the universities are based. So by their reforms, in each university there should be just one faculty left, and that's it.
For example, in Tbilisi, Faculty of Law will be in Tbilisi based, but for example, Faculty of Philosophy is based in small city Kutaisi.
Or somewhere
Or
else.
Or in Batumi.
Yeah.
And why Kutaisi? Because Bidzina Ivanishvili building this university in Kutaisi, and they want to make his more function. To make this money for him.
Yeah, but actually, this is of course huge problem for all the Georgians around the Georgia because the acceptance rate will be low, and less students will be accepted in the universities. And on the other hand, it's harder for locals from and for the ethnic community members, because by this law, in Georgia, there was this program 1+4. So ethnic minorities would go to universities, learn Georgian language for first year, and for another 4 year they would learn their subject, let's say, their profession. But now this program will be closed as well, and local students who have been participants of this program don't know how to continue their studies. So right now, at this time, there is so much unclarity around these reforms that actually no one really knows how the things will be, and no one can see. Maybe I don't know, maybe some greater minds can see how the future looks, but like from my experience, like I can say that we can see the shape of education in general, like in the next period of times. And of course, like the school grades are shortened. We had 12 grade and now we will have 11 grade. So by that, the Georgian students who will finish school would not have opportunity to study abroad, because to study abroad you have to be in the same system, and we will be excluded in this system. So Georgian students could not have chance to study in Europe or in USA in the future.
Georgia Dreams, they said we don't need educated people
Yeah.
with diploma. We don't need it. Our Georgia Dream president, it's he don't have a diploma.
Yeah, he has not finished school.
Yes, they give for our people motivated, they can be presidents of
Yeah.
Georgia, because they don't need to have education, high education. So, and first, what they say, we don't need lectures, because it's a lot of lectures, and more of them are in a protest in Rustaveli, and why they want to cutting this program, and they say we don't need a lot of educated people. And one of the problem what's happened, how Vladimir said, national minorities group, they will be less opportunity to have high education and have concurrently with other people in Georgia.
Yeah. Thank
Sorry,
you.
we're at 1 o'clock, so I think we're out of time. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before we end? I don't want to cut you off.
I just wanted to say thanks to listening us, and we are hoping for better future for all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our panelists for joining us today, and to everybody for attending the webinar. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care.